Hello there, and you're very welcome to another episode of the Arkham Avengers FFPL podcast. You join me, the host, along with Eamon, Hector, and Captain Fantastical Mick, where we take a look to see how the managers in this league are getting on for the season. However, we'll also be talking about much more. So kick back, stay tuned, and enjoy. And a very happy new year to all of you, our listeners, and to our managers out there. We do hope that you've had a lovely Christmas and that you're all set for the new year, 2023. Lads, thanks for joining us here today on the show. Did you all have a good Christmas?
Yes, I have to say I did have a nice Christmas, thank you. It went well. Although I do think that I ate a little bit too much, but it was nice to spend time with, all the family. It's nice to have that family time.
Eamon?
Yes, I have to say it was a pleasant Christmas with all the family and with the friends, catching up with the sport and the television. Looking forward to the new year. I would like to take an opportunity to wish everybody a happy new year and hope everybody is keeping well.
And Hector, yourself?
Well, I was home for Christmas. I was back in Brazil to see all my family, which be nice. We go to the midnight mass, we exchange the gifts. We always have a lot of food, like the roasted pork, Christmas ham, chicken salad, potato salad. It was all very good. I have to say, I don't see much football or hear much football while I was over there. Mama was kind of looking after me, checking to see how things were.
Excellent. Glad to hear that now. And it's nice to hear that you all had a nice Christmas. Eamon, can I turn to you just for a moment here? And I believe you were on the television during Christmas. Am I right with that?
Well, I wasn't live on TV during the Christmas. The program that was aired was recorded back in November.
And yet again, Eamon, no mention of our show here. I see Mick got a mention. Other than that, it was your own podcast. You didn't bother to say anything about us.
And can I just say and interject here that I didn't mention the podcast. It was Tommy Martin who brought it up.
Are you telling me Eamon's back on TV again?
Yes, Mick. That's right. He is back on TV again. He was interviewed on Virgin Media 2 on St. Stephen's Day. And with all his chat and his banter, he didn't bother to mention us, apart from you, Mick.
Well, thanks very much, Eamon. It was nice to get a mention.
Mick, hold on a second. Don't be too quick with your thanks. You got a mention because of the Saipan incident with Roy Keane.
Ah, no. We're not back to that again, are we?
Look. The presenter of the program brought it up as a topic, and I had to engage with him. It's only fair. I didn't say to him, bring this fella up or bring that podcast up. This is what came with me, and I had to answer it.
I see. And we're cast aside, Eamon. Hector, were you on any Brazilian TV or radio show while you were back home by any chance?
No, I was not. I no go on any show. But I want to say something. My mama, she say she hear podcast and she say now, that I am podcast. Maybe I got radio show. Maybe here in Ireland or maybe back home in Brazil. She say I come across very well on radio. I say to her, mama, I keep open mind. And, I see who contacted me for this.
Well, isn't that charming? Hector's off to Radio Land, and Eamon's back on television. Looks like it's just you and me hosts that's going to be running this show from now on.
Maybe we better make the most of Hector and Eamon before they take to the hills there. And will we have a look to see how Gameweek 17 went for everybody?
I think so. I think we better.
Okay, Gameweek 17. The football kicked off after the World Cup. The highest points were 143 and the average points were 72. We'll have a rundown now and see how the managers fared. In first place, the good, the bad, the goalie. 83 points. And they had a number of transfers. Hector, do you want to talk on this?
Yes, well, they had the transfers that they had is goalkeeper Iverson came in and Sanchez went out. Bueno, the defender, came in. Delota went out. Walker came in, Dyer went out, Rashford came in, Foden went out, and the striker Darwin came in and Solanke went out. The team lineup was Ward, who was goalkeeper, got 1 point. Bueno got 1 point. Trippier got the 12 point. White got 2 points. Rashford, he came in with the 14 points. Almiron had 8 points. De Bruyne had the 2 points. Martinelli had 8. Kane had the 7 points. Darwin had the 2 points. And their captain this week was the Haaland, and he got 26 points. When I look at this, I think that the goalkeeper Sanchez transfer was poor choice, although sometimes when the finances dictate what players you bring in, you have to do and work with what you can have. I think a very good start for game week 17, today's the football starting off. And in game week 17, they are 10 points ahead of second place. So, the pressure is not, how you say, getting less. He's still there.
And then in second place, no change there, was Tyega with 86 points. Eamon, they had 11 transfers. Do you want to skip in through some of those there?
Well, certainly, yes. So the goalkeeper, Arkham came in and Pope went out. James came in, Canati went out. Walker came in, Diaz went out. Of course, Diaz is injured. Shaw came in, Perisic went out. Almiron came in, Martinelli went out. Rashford was brought in, Zaha went out. Ege came in and Andres went out. Darwin was brought in for 2 points. Jesus, of course, was injured. And their team lineup was the following in game week 17. They had goalkeeper Arrizabalaga got 9 points. James got 1 point. Trippier came in with the 12 points. Shaw had 8 points. White had 2 points. De Bruyne had 2 points. Almiron had 8 points. Trossard had 2 points. Rashford had 14 points. Darwin Núñez had 2 points. Their captain was also Haaland. There was 26 points there. I think they got lucky with the substitution because Shaw came in for Walker. That got 8 points in there. The Trossard versus Martinelli debate was no brainer for him. I'd have left Martinelli on. They'll be pleased though to see it's a good result, 86 points, gains on first place. And they look like a team to me who are starting to try and make a shape and fight for first place again. So it's a good result. They'll be pleased with that. Nice. It's good to have that sort of result when you're coming back after the World Cup and the season is kicking off.
Third place then was no change either. Raglan Road, 82 points. They had 4 transfers. Mick, do you want to talk us through this?
Well, they brought in Havertz. Havertz got 12 points. And Jesus went out injured. Salah came in, he had 12 points. And they put De Bruyne out, who only had 2 points. Udor came in, he didn't have any points. And they put Greenwood out, who had 4 points. And then they changed our goalkeepers. Edison, 2 points. And Allison went out for 3 points. Their team lineup for game week 17 was... in goals was Edison for 2 points. Cancelo was in defence with 1 point. Trippier was there with 12. Tarakaski had 3 points. Gabriel came in there with 2 points. And Salah had 12 points. Trossard came in there with 2 points. Zaha had 2 points. Almiron had 8 points. Havertz had 12 points. And they also opted for Haaland as that captain. He got 26 points. And I don't think they're going to be overly happy with some of the players in the midfield and defence. You'd expect now to be getting some points off. But some of these lads, didn't go to World Cup, so they should be refreshed. They should be active. They should be getting the points in for you. They may be a little bit disappointed. A little bit disappointed, I think.
In fourth place then, there's no change there. Lafayette Lions with 78 points. 3 transfers. Eamon, what have we got here?
Well, they decided to bring Castagne in. And he got 1 point. They put Saliba out, who had 1 point. Me came in, Neco Williams went out, Garnacho came in, and Longstaff went out. Their team lineup was goalkeeper Pope, 6 points. Cancelo had 1 point. Castagne had 1 point. Trippier had 12 points. Hojbjerg picked up 10 points. Andres had 3 points. Martinelli had 8 points. De Bruyne had 2 points. Darwin had 2 points. Kane had 7. And they also opted for Haaland as the captain for 26 points. They're probably a little bit disappointed. I think maybe a couple of those guys there in defence. The 1-pointer is not really doing well. De Bruyne, Darwin, 2 points, letting the team down there. This is no time to be dropping points, especially when the other guys are getting, in the 80s. Maybe be keeping wet down there. So Lafayette won't be overly happy with this. Question is this damage reversible?
Fifth place then has no change either. Canboy High Cancelo with 95 points. Hector, they had a whopping 64 transfers to get the team in place for game week 17. What have you to say about this?
Well, I have to say, we cannot talk about the transfers. It's too many. We'd be here all day if I was to start talking about them. 64 transfers is a manager who's trying to put a team together to make a big push, and hopefully it may work. I'm not too sure. I think we have a look at the team lineup, though. In goals, they had Arrizabalaga in gold with 9 points. Shaw had 8 points. Trippier had 12 points. James had 1 point. White had 2 points. Foden had 1 point. Martinelli came in with 8 points. Rashford came in with 14 points. Salah had the 12 points. Darwin Núñez had 2 points. And they also have Haaland for their captain. He got in 26 points. I had to say, so far all the managers have made excellent choice with the captain selection. Midfield look very strong. I'm very impressed with them there. And, 95 points. They're now starting to put pressure on Lafayette Lions. We're now looking at managers thinking, 4th place, I'm going to go for it.
No change either then in 6th place with best season ever with 86 points. And they had 6 transfers. Mick, how did this manager approach game week 17?
I think they've decided to up the game a little bit. Yeah, 86 points is a good return for him. The goalkeepers, they swapped them around. He brought Ward in. He put Henderson out. Castagne came in. He put out Alexander-Arnold. Mikalenko was brought in and Kelleher was put out. Rashford came in and Zaha was put out. Odegaard was brought in. Bernardo was put out. And then Kane was brought in and Jesus, who's injured, was put out. Their team lineup looks at the following. For goalkeeper, the Ramsdale for 3 points. Salah had 2 points. Mikalenko came in with 1 point. Trippier had 12 points. Perisic 1 point. Odegaard had 11 points. Almiron had 8 points. Foden had 1 point. Rashford had 14 points. Kane at 7 points. Haaland is the captain as well. He got 26 points. And look, they're continuing on the winning way here. I think still a bit of work to do, but it's looking quite good. He's keeping them under pressure there. He's putting them under pressure.
Now, of course, we have a new team up to 7th place here. Arkham Avengers, 85 points, 10 transfers. Eamon, what's your thinking about this?
10 transfers. I don't think we should dwell too much on this here. I think we'll have a look at their team, the lineup. In goals, they had Guetta for 3 points. Trippier had 12 points. Amarte had 1 point. White came in with 2 points. Almiron had 8 points. De Bruyne had 2 points. Martinelli had 8. Rashford 14. Kane had 7 points. Darwin Núñez had 2 points. And they also had Haaland as the captain for 26 points. I have to say, I'm a bit surprised with the spoofer. They'd managed beforehand, before the break, to scupper that season. And look, it's interesting to see that they've come back. They've moved up into 7th. I wouldn't hold my breath. But it's an interesting move. It's the spoofer keeping us on the edge of our seat here, just to see what they can do. Possibly trying to make a break into the top 5. At very best, I have to say. I think their season is over for me, but by some miracle, this is going to be down to the like of the Raglan and maybe a couple of other guys there. We have to see what best season ever does. If they start to slip, Spoofer could take advantage of that and nab 5th place. Certainly, I do not see the Spoofer getting into 3rd place, into a top 3 finish. There's no trophies and there's no medal for this guy this season.
Would you be impressed, though, Eamon, that this manager, as you said, the wheels had gone off their season before the break, has managed to stop things and reverse it and actually move up?
Well, look, this is only the first game week since the football started, so I think we'll just have to wait and see. I think we'll have to think and observe what the spoofer is going to do. As we know, the spoofer is liable to do anything. They could have a good week this week, and they could just do any amount of transfers for the next week and just completely implode. So, no, let's see what's happening, okay?
Now, as a result, of course, of Arkham Avengers moving up, down to 8th place is Kalish Bait, 58 points. And they didn't have any transfers, Hector.
No transfer. Team lineup for them was goalkeeper Ward 1 point, Cancelo 1 point, James 1 point, Trippier had 12 points, Zhechenko had 1 point, Salah had 12 points, Rodrigo 2 points, St. Maximin 1 point, Almiron had 8 points, Kane was the vice captain for 14 points, and Tony was there with 5 points. And they left Jesus as their captain. And as we all know, Jesus is injured. Question mark. Why will you do that?
Listen, if I can just say something here.
Yes, Eamon, go on. What is it?
The luck's run out for this fella. This manager has lasted their welcome in the top 10. And it's a happy new year indeed to them. And I expect this team to drop further. They switched off. Something's happened. They're just not with it. And it's free fall time. It's like you do one of these halo jumps and the parachute is not going to open. It's all the way down for this guy.
Thank you for that, Eamon. Thank you. Thanks, Hector, as well there. Also down to 9th place is What a Beauty 99, 66 points. Mick, any thought about this?
Well, not surprised that they haven't had any transfers because they're a little bit transfer shy, if you ask me. Their team for Gameweek 17 was the following. It was goalkeeper was Pope, who got 6 points. Tossi came in with no points. Cancelo had 1 point. Saliba had 2 points. Trippier had 12 points. De Bruyne comes in there with 2 points. Now, they had Martinelli who comes in with 8 points and Trossard comes in with 2. Slanky was up front with 2 points. Tony was there with 5 points. And luckily for them, I suppose they had Haaland as their captain. Got 26 points. But that looks like to me this manager's forgotten that the season was restarting. I'd say there's lads that agree. It's not great shock here. You know, they've been hanging on there in the top 10 for the last while. And like that cliche, they're another team that's on the drop.
You're not holding out any hope of a change for them?
I don't think so. No, I wouldn't. Not with that performance here. Not with that team. And not when you they had an opportunity to make transfers, change the team around a little bit. They didn't take any option of that. So no, I think they were that Agakili space. There's no parachute. It's all the way down.
Now, there's no change in 10th place. Blightsome squad with 93 points, Eamon. 10 transfers.
Yes, well, I think no more than, the Spoofer and Camby High Cancelo with 64 and 10. We'll give a pass on that, thank you, because we'll be here all day if we're going to talk about every single transfer. Their team, though, it was interesting. In goals, they had Ramsdale for 3 points. Cancelo was there with 1 point. Trippier was there with 12 points. White had 2 points. Mikolenko had 1 point. And they had Odegaard in midfield who got 11 points. Almiron picked up 8 points. Salah had 12 points. Havertz got them 12 points up the front. Tony had 5, and they had Haaland as their captain. I got 26 points there. Now, they had a good subs bench here. 16 points in place there. And they've had solid midfield, in my view, a solid forward line. A couple of guys in the team who look to be coasting, and I think the manager needs to deal with that. But it's a good result. They'll be very pleased with that. 93 points, very good. Welcome back, Blythe.
Then in 11th place, no changes, maximum effort, 80 points. Hector, they had 4 transfers. What happened?
Well, Williams came in and Thiago Silva went out. Mitrovic came in and Jesus, who was injured, was out. Saka came in, Marquinez went out, and then Kofel came in and Williams went out.
So Williams was brought in and then Williams was put out.
That's right, yes. They brought in the Williams and then they put Salva out and then they brought in Kofel and they said they didn't want the Williams.
All right, okay. What was their team like?
Well, for their team, they had the goalkeeper Ramsdale for 3 points. They had Van Dijk for 9 points. Botman got 6 points. Cancelo had 1 point. Saka then got him 9 points. St. Maximin got 1 point. Bruno Guimaraes came in with 6 points. De Bruyne was there with 2 points. Trossard had 2 points. Mitrovic came in with 15 points, which is very good, and Haaland was their captain, 26 points. I think that they'll come back after the break with a little staunchy punch, to say, hey lads, you're here. I'm not too sure about the Thiago Silva, him being put out. I have a question mark about that. But look, I think the bigger question here, and I think, we're all going to be looking to see, is what are they going to do in game week 18? Can they follow up, with a good result? I think, if they apply themselves now, they could do some good. They could be a threat.
No change either in 12th place. Real, no stars, 67 points, and they have no transfers. Mick, any shining light for this team?
Well, I suppose the first thing we're going to be wondering is, did we expect any transfers from them? And I think the answer would be no. Their team lineup was Edison was in goals and got 2 points. Cucurella had 6 points. Walker Peters had 1 point. Alexander-Arnold had 2 points. Salah had 12 points. De Bruyne had 2 points. Aronson came in with 2 points. Decore had another 2 points. Martinelli came in with 8 points. Greenwood had 4 points. And Haaland was the captain, 26 points. You ask if there's any shining light here. I guess the only thing you could say is that they're consistent in doing nothing with the team. And I think Eamon has said this before. Certainly, this is the end of the road for this manager as well. They're going no place now.
Okay, and then up to 13th place, it's Silver Stroke, 87 points. Eamon, the team that started after all the rest of the teams is in a fight to get off the bottom of the table. Is this the start of it?
And they didn't have many transfers. The team lineup is Ederson was in goals for 2 points. Bueno was there for 1 point. They had Byrne, 6 points. Cancelo had 1 point. March got them 13 points, sorry. Saka had 9 points. Salah had 12 points. Trossard had 2 points. Greenwood 4. Haaland was 13. Their captain is Trippier, who got 24 points. The subs bench had Mount, who had 10 points, and Mitrovic 15. It's a pity that those two lads weren't on that pitch there. Easily to have taken Greenwood out and have Mitrovic in there. Take out Trossard and have Mount in there. But they're on a good run. Now they need to concentrate. This is it. They need to knuckle down, and they have to see where it is they're going, what they're doing, and not get blindsided. And not slip ups here. No slip ups.
And then down to 14th place. Better idea, 22-23. Mick, over to you on this one. Do I get to talk about this? There's been plenty more to talk about on this, Hector. Mick, no transfers.
Well, it's another one of these managers who's forgot that he actually has a system where he can transfer. Look, their team lineup was Fabianski was in goals for 1 point. Saliba had 2 points. Sanchez had 1 point. James had 1 point. De Bruyne at 2 points. Hojbjerg did pick up 10 points for him. Ward-Prowse 5 points. Andres 3 points. Ings had 1 point. Tony had 5 points. And their captain was Salah and he got 24 points. There's no more than cliché, I think. This manager's luck has run out, They're out of options and they're out of time, as far as I can see. I don't see much happening from here on out now.
Lads, well, thank you for that. That's game week 17 that we've had a look at. We'll move on now and have a look at game week 18 and take a look to see how the managers fared in this game week. Now, the highest points were 107, while the average points came in at 48 points. We have no change in first place. The good, the bad, and the goalie are holding firm, 56 points. Hector.
Well, they had one transfer. Goalkeeper Arrizabalaga came in and they put out Everson. He was the goalkeeper and he got them 3 points. White had the 1 point. Trippier had 8 points. Bueno had 6 points. Rashford had the 5 points. Almiron had the 3 points. De Bruyne had 1 point. Martinelli had 10 points. Kane had the 2 points. Darwin and Nunes had 5 points. And their captain was Haaland. He only picked up 12 points. They're holding firm, but I think probably this manager would have probably liked to have seen a little few more points coming in. Probably if he got about the 65 mark, 68, would have been very happy with that. I think he'd be a little bit disappointed.
And there's no change either then in second place. Toyega are there with 55 points and they had no transfers, Mick.
They're not transfers this week for them, so their team lineup was in goals was Arrizabalaga was in there with 3 points. Trippier picked up 8. Shaw got them 9 points. White got 1 point. Ege got 8 points. De Bruyne had 1 point. Almiron had 3 points. Rashford picks up 5 points for them. Now, Wilson was there, but he didn't get any points. Darwin Nunes picks up 5, and they also had Haaland as that captain. He got 12 points. I think they're going to be disappointed that they haven't managed to close the gap on first place. I think after last week, they probably would have been thinking, no, we've got a chance. We can do something here with this. A few players on that team, they're not hitting form. That'd be a concern for me. I'll be looking at them and I try and think, what am I going to do with these lads? What will I do with these? I have to do something with these. I can't have lads like that who are not performing.
New team in third place. It's Lafayette Lions with 53 points. They had 1 transfer. Mitrovic came in and Darwin went out. Eamon.
Well, Mitrovic, of course, didn't get any points. Bit of a disaster. Darwin went out. Who did get 5 points. Their team lineup, though, was goalkeeper Pope, 6 points. Bueno had 6 points. Trippier had 8 points. Castagna had 1 point. Martinelli had 10 points. De Bruyne had 1 point. Hojbjerg 2 points. Andres had 5 points. Kane had 2 points. As I said, Mitrovic had a disaster. Didn't get any points. And Haaland, the captain, had 12 points. Okay, it's been a while coming. They have remained constant in fourth place for quite a good while. They've been quietly moving, quietly getting on with it. There's no airs or graces. There's no fireworks with this team here. But they've managed to nab third place. And I'd expect that they're going to hold on to this. Don't expect them to just take it and lose it that quickly. They'll hold on to it. They're experienced. As I said, they've been quietly getting on about their business and it's starting to pay off for them.
And of course, with Lafayette Lions having gone up to third place, Raglan Road are down to fourth with 45 points, Mick. One transfer. Botman came in and White went out.
Yeah, a little bit of a slip up, I think, this week for them there. The team lineup was Guetta's and goals, 7 points. Trippier had 8 points. Now, Botman was brought in, he got 6 points. You can't complain about that. Gabriel didn't get any points. Trossard had 1 point. Salah got 2 points. Billing came in with 1 point. Almiron had 3 points. Zaha had 3 points. Havertz had 2 points. And the captain, Howland, managed to get them 12 points. They were very disappointed, I'll say. And I think they should have been pushing on and not dropping back. They've eased off on the pedal, the foot off the gas there. I think they've taken their eye off the ball, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's post-New Year blues or Christmas blues or something that's got at them there. But it's going to be very hard for them now to get back on track because I don't see Lafayette Lions making a slip up. Certainly, they won't be making a slip up too soon, that easily. And then the other side of them, in fifth place, Cambaya Cancello is going to be pushing to take that fourth place spot.
Yeah, and speaking of Cambaya Cancello, they got 59 points. One transfer, Eamon. Mitrovic came in and Wilson went out.
Yeah, and there was no points for either of these guys. Mitrovic had a disaster of a week there. Didn't get any points. Their team lineup was in goals. Arrizabalaga was there with 3 points. Shaw had 9 points. Trippier had 8 points. White had 1 point. Andres 5 points. Foden picked up 1 point. Rashford 5 points. As I said, Mitrovic, blot on the copybook there, didn't get any points. Darwin Núñez had picked up 5 points and Haaland had 6 points. Their captain, though, of course, was Salah. And they got 4 points for that. Now, they left 16 points on the bench, which would have been very useful here. They are holding ground. They're holding 5th place. They will be pushing for 4th. I agree with Mick there. A little bit of a slip up with the captain choice there. Every point counts. Even if they had selected Haaland, they got another 6 points there. That puts them, at 65 points. They're closing the gap a little bit there. But, look, sometimes that happens.
No change then either in 6th place. Best season ever, 48 points, Hector. No transfers.
That's right. Another manager here, he's not going to have transfer, probably saving that transfer for the next game weeks and that. Team lineup in goals, Ramsdale, 2 points. Saliba, 1 point. Trippier, 8 points. Perisic had 1 point. Odegaard had 13 points. Almiron had the 3 points for them. Foden had 1 point. Rashford, 5 points. Kane was there with 2 points. And Wilson didn't get any points. And their captain was De Haaland. He got the 12 points. I think they could have done better. And I think there are too many weak positions here. This manager needs to up their game. If they're serious now about getting into the top 5, they need to really push on here. This business is the Foden getting the 1 point, Saliba getting the 1 point, Perisic getting the 1 point, Wilson having no point. That's not good enough at this level. You have to be getting some points in there. You need to be getting 2-3 points least.
Okay, and there's no change either then at 7th. Arkham Avengers, 59 points, Mick. 2 transfers. They lost 4 points.
Yeah, they brought in Odegaard in and they brought Martinelli out. Now, I know Odegaard got 13 points. Martinelli got 10 points. He made a couple of points here. Salah was brought in, got 2 points. And De Bruyne was put out for 1 point. Look, on the grand scheme, they lost the 4 points and they just about made the 4 points back. So their team lineup was Guetta was in goals, 7 points. Trippier is in with 8 points. Amartey has 1 point. White has 1 point. Almiron has 3 points. Salah has 2 points. Odegaard is there with the 13 points. Rashford has 5 points. Kane has 2 points. Darwin Núñez picks up with 5 points. And the upward for Haaland as the captain, they got 12 points. I think if you're expecting this manager, I know Eamon would be saying this. What you'd be saying? Oh, this is the spoofer.
Yes, I would. Yes, I would indeed.
Yeah, I think if you expected him to fall off, and I think a lot of people expected that, didn't you? You expected him to fall off, but he's being persistent, isn't he? He's not throwing in the towel. I think he's trying to turn the season around, and that's a couple of extra points catching up on 6th place. I think they'll be happy enough with that.
Now, we have a new manager in at 8th place, and this is Blightsome squad. 59 points, had 1 transfer. Robinson came in, Cancelo went out. Eamon.
Yes, their goalkeeper was Ramsdale for 2 points. Robinson had 2 points. Trippier had 8 points. White had 1 point. Mikalenko had 2 points. Now, Odegaard did pick up 13 points. Almiron had 3 points. Salah had 2 points. Havertz was there with 2 points. Tony had the 12 points. And their captain was Haaland for 12 points. I think we're starting to see a little bit of the form of the old manager from last season now. They were pleased with this. It's points on the pitch. It's points on the board. Got up to 8. Nice jump for them. Now steady the ship, steady the course, and hold 8 for a couple of weeks and build on that position. That's what we have to do.
Okay, there's no change in a 9th place. What a beauty, 99. 54 points. Mick, no transfers.
No transfers. Goalkeeper was Pope for 6 points. Totti was there with 1 point. Salah had 1 point. Trippier had 8 points. De Bruyne had 1 point. Martinelli had 10 points. Sorry, I was nearly giving him 1 point because I was getting tired of saying all these 1 points. So yeah, Martinelli had 10 points. Colback had 1 point. Trossard had 1 point. You see now where I was thinking about Martinelli here.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yes, carry on there.
Tony came in with 12 points. Sankey had 1 point there. Haaland is the captain for 12 points. Okay, they've done enough to hold on to 9th place, but that's about it. They're not doing anything else. Don't expect them to be going any higher, that's for sure.
Now down to 10th place. Kalish beat 41 points, Eamon.
Yeah, no transfers here. Did we expect a transfer? No. Goalkeeper was Ward, 3 points. Shevchenko came in with 1 point. Nico Williams had 1 point. Trippier did get 8 points for him. Harrison had 3 points. Salah had 2 points. Rodrigo had 3 points. Maximan had 1 point. Almiron had 3 points. Kane, the vice captain, ended up getting 4 points. And Tony came in with 12 points. Again, another week, Jesus, the captain, is left in position with the armband. He's injured. He's not doing anything. A bit like this manager here. I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but look, it's a case of c'est la vie. Bon voyage, Kalish beat to the bottom of this league. That's where you're going. That's all I have to say about that.
All right, okay, Eamon. Harsh words there. Yeah. Anything else from the rest of you lads?
Well, not much to say about it. You know, a manager not going to do much. I ain't not going to say much about it.
I agree with the lads there. Like if that manager's not wasting any of his time managing, I'm not going to waste time making analysis on it.
11th place is no change. Maximum effort, 33 points. No transfers. Mick.
Yeah, no transfers again on this one. Another one of these teams there. Their team lineup was Ramsdale 2 points, Van Dijk 2 points, Botman got 6 points, Kofel had no points, Saka had 6 points, Bruno Guimaraes came in with 2 points, St. Maximin had 1 point, De Bruyne had 1 point, Trossard had 1 point, Mitrovic didn't get any points, of course, and their captain was Haaland for 12 points. And I think we can pretty much nearly forget about them making any application of themselves this season. It looks like they're a little bit all washed up, if you ask me. I thought they might have tried to do something, but when coming down this table here, and you notice there's no transfers happening. This is like no man's land. It's not much going to change down here.
Well, there's no change in 12th place, that's for sure. Real, no stars. Eamon, 45 points, no transfers.
Yes, we are kind of in the no transfer zone with these teams here. Their goalkeeper was Ederson, got 2 points. Cucurella got 2 points. Walker Peters had 1 point. Alexander Arnold had 8 points. Neco Williams had 1 point. Salah had 2 points. De Bruyne had 1 point. Aronson had 3 points. Doucouré had 3 points. Martinelli did get 10 points, and Haaland was the captain for 12 points. One word here, and it's probably fortunate that Martinelli and Haaland got them a couple of points. Other than that, it would have been a write-off completely this week.
No change either then in 13th place. Silver Stroke. Mick, no transfer, 48 points.
Yeah, disappointing here with the, no transfer. I thought they might have done a little transfer. I did think I was expecting something out of them there. Edison was the goalkeeper for 2 points. Bueno had 6 points. Byrne had 6 points. Mount had 2 points. March came in with 1 point. Saka had 6 points. Salah had 2 points. Trossard had 1 point. Mitrovic didn't bring any points in, of course. Haaland had 6 points. And the goalkeeper, Trippier, got 16 points. He was the captain there. But I think I'd like to see them do one or two little transfers, just change things around a little bit there. But having said that, slowly but surely they're starting to catch a 12th place here.
And finally, no change. 14th place, Eamon. Better idea. 22, 23, 37 points.
And no transfer again here. The team lineup for this manager was Fabianski, 2 points. Salama had 1 point. Matip had 2 points. Diaz didn't have any points. De Bruyne had 1 point. Hojbjerg had 2 points. Ward-Prowse got 7 points. Andres had 5 points. Ings had 1 point. Tony had 12 points. And they had the captain Salah, who managed to make a whopping 4 points there. It's nice to see this manager doing nothing. They certainly must have an extended Christmas or New Year's holiday leave for them. And if I was him, I wouldn't be in any rush to be coming back. Stay wherever you are. You're not going any place there. But like 37 points, okay, they got a little bit more than maximum effort, but there's nothing happening with a lot of these teams here. I'd agree with Mick. I think Silverstroke missed an opportunity to try and close in on 12th place there. If I had any team there out of What a Beauty 99, Cliche, Maximum Effort, Real No Stars, Silverstroke, Better Idea 22, 23. I think Silverstroke is a team that have an opportunity and could do something. That manager is listening, and I hope they are listening. Stick with it. Get a few transfers in there. They've got lucky with Trippier being the captain, but don't rely on that constantly.
Okay, well, thanks for that, lads. It's great to hear the thoughts and the comments and the lay of the land with the league table at the moment. Gameweek 19 is still underway. It's a funny game week because most of the matches are all finished at this point. We only have one match, which is on Thursday, the 12th of January. And then immediately on Friday, game week 20 kicks off there. And we'll be taking a look to see how things are going to develop for our manager. I think we have a few double game weeks coming up here. Yeah, it's time for those to come up there. And that'll be important now. We'll see which manager is going to try and avail of that there. That's grand. Thanks very much for that now. And great to have the football back there. Hector.
Yes, yeah.
I take it, Hector, with you having been away, would I be right in saying it's doubtful that you've done much work on the investigation or the case of the Mystery Recitation Man and Moydow?
No, I did not do nothing much on it. I was away. I was on holidays. You know, I was looking at the Northern Standards, all the papers. I had thought, so my eyes getting so tired looking at them. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. But I probably will come back to it. I will have to come back and figure out what I want to do. Okay, all right. Okay, well, I tell you something. I have an update for you. You have? Yeah. Your last update, of course, was this man, the Recitation Man, was going to be at the Panto in Longford.
And look, if you ask me, this is my opinion. This whole investigation is a panto.
Oh, no, it's not, Eamon.
Oh, yes, it is, Mick. It certainly is. It's been a pantomime from start to finish.
Hold on, lads. Hold on. Roll it back. This is a podcast. This is not some panto. There's no villains here amongst us. As I said, I have an update. The mystery man has been in touch with the show.
Yeah, he had been in touch.
How? When was he in touch there? Hector, an email came through and there was an audio clip attached to it. He has put together a little verse or two, especially for you, Hector. I think we'll have a listen to it now, okay?
I recited poems in many places, like Fermanagh and Tyrone, Donegal, Cork and Kerry, and Monaghan here at home. In Westport in County Mayo, and in Clare and Killaloe, and when visiting friends in Arda, I recited in Moydow. I enjoy your weekly podcast. I listen when I can, especially Mr. Hector, who wonders who I am. I could recite a poem about anything, a person, place or thing. Potholes in County Cavan, or the Longford water scheme. The Ulster Canal in Clonus, a hen and her little chicks. Christmas time or Easter or an owl boy cutting sticks. So a big shout out to Hector and his detective game. Happy Christmas from Mr. Anonymous. That's the popular poet's name.
Now, lads, what do we make of that?
I'd say this. He's brazen, that's for sure.
I actually think he's putting this up to Hector.
It certainly is. And it came in from the same email address, Hector. This mrmim@gmail.com. I see.
I think, Hector, do you seem to be a little bit rattled? I think he's trying to rattle you.
I know this. He's certainly very good with his words. I like the way he intermingled all that stuff together there.
Hector, anything to say about this? I think I'm going to have to reflect on this. This is something different. I don't expect this from him, but I will have to sit, have a think about this and see where I go. And then I will take action. Okay, well, we look forward to hearing that response anyway, Hector, and I'm sure if our Mystery Recitation Man is listening, thank you for that. You might send us in another verse or two at some point, maybe another couple of weeks, if you're willing, or maybe you'd like to come on air and have a chat with Hector.
That would be very, very interesting, I have to say. Yes, Recitation Man, if you're listening to us, we'd like you to phone in.
We'll see what happens there. Okay, so look, I think it's time to start to wrap up the show here. Hector's hellos back this year. Yes, they are. Yeah, I am back. Yeah, and I can go ahead, can I? Oh yes, by all means, fire away. Hello, listeners, and a very happy New Year to you all. I hope you all well. Hector's hellos is back again. I want to give a shout out to our listeners in Dublin, in Thurles, which I believe is in County Tipperary. Our listeners in Longford, in Mayo, in Donegal, Kerry, in Galway, our listeners in Cavan, Monaghan, Carlow. We have listeners in Wales, in London, in Manchester, Edinburgh. We have listeners in the Hebrides, Florida, Washington, California, San Antonio. We have listeners who are out in Georgia, Alaska, Canada, down in New Mexico, Brazil. Hi, Mom, and all the family. Hope you're all keeping well. I got over here to Ireland safe, as you can hear me. To our listeners in Colombia, Argentina, we have our listeners in South Africa, Morocco, Spain, France, Belgium, Frankfurt-on-Main, Bavaria, our listeners in Iran, Switzerland, Finland. We have listeners in Australia, Japan, and New Zealand. Ciao to everyone. Hope you all be very well. Thanks for that, Hector. Thank you. I see the list isn't getting short anyway. No, I probably could have, it depends week in, week out, A lot of people have been listening when we were away, and that's it, I want to give the shout out. They listen in, I give shout out.
Yes, it's a pity, there's something called New Year's resolutions. Are you familiar with this, Hector?
The New Year's resolutions. Yeah, I have recalled of that, yes.
Yes, and did you make any New Year's resolutions?
Well, I was going to eat less sweets and less crisps.
Okay, you wouldn't think about making New Year's resolutions to maybe drop the Hector's hellos for the rest of the season there? We could review it and see, do we want it back? Could that be considered by you, Hector?
No, Eamon, I couldn't do that. Our listeners listen in and they want to hear the Hector hello. Why would I give that up there? Host. Well, look, my view on this is people do listen in, and I suppose it is quite nice that Hector gives a shout out to them and that the people listening know that we are acknowledging where they are in the world. So, look, I think leave it in for the moment. But, I mean, if it gets to the point that you're going to have 7 or 8 minutes worth of places to be reading out, I think you'll have to trim it, Hector. You'll have to trim it. You couldn't be going on with that. I mean, the next thing, the podcast is just going to be a shout-out show. But I see, I still stand up for the listeners. I know, yes, I'm standing up for the listeners as well. I'm standing up for you there. But, when we're wrapping up the show, we want to wrap it up. We don't want to suddenly have several minutes of Hector's hellos and, shouting out to Jimmy, John, Andres, Francois, the rest, whoever it is out there. Well, look, I will do this, okay? Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Yeah. Look, I'm just saying, look, I've no issue at the moment.
That's just absolutely typical. Overridden again here. I mean, my word or my views don't count for anything on this.
They do, Eamon. We take it into consideration, everything. Mick, you're keeping very quiet over there.
I think I'm going to keep quiet and not get involved in any of that. But I did want to say if I could give a shout out to all my family over in Leeds. And I've got family over in Connemara as well, and Mayo. Just shout out to them all and say, hi folks, hope to see you soon.
Okay, I think we'll park the hellos, the shout outs now. Lads, we'll be back to take a look at Game Week 19. So, firstly, thank you all for coming back, and I look forward to the rest of the season for the football. See what happens, okay?
Thank you. Yes, nice to be back here, and hello to all listeners.
Thank you. Yes, very pleased to be back here. Put out by Recitation Man, but look, I will think about this.
Yes, I'll be back. Like Zani says, I'll be back.
Very well, folks. Now, listen, thanks for joining us. And as always, thanks for subscribing, taking time to listen to the show and to listen to us. It means a lot. And if you do want to get in touch, if you want to drop us an email, you can do so at Arkham Avengers, FFPL@gmail.com. We're also on Facebook, and you'll find us on Twitter as well. The handles are in the show notes. Once again, just wanted to wish you all a very happy new year. I hope it's a good year for everybody, wherever you are in the world, and that you're all keeping well, safe, and healthy. And all that remains really for me to say at this point is good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to wherever you are in the world. Keep safe. We'll be back. Don't forget, if you do want to get in contact, please do. Until then, slán.